Welcome everybody to Scott Cooks. Today I will be making Hawaiian pulled pork. I'll be using this 4.5 pound Boston butt roast bone in. See that big bone running right there? So we've got a 4.5 pounder, including the weight of the bone. We'll be doing all of this in our Ninja Foodi with the one lid, SMARTLID, they call it. And we'll be doing some pressure cooking, some sear saute, some shredding, etc., etc. And the first thing we're going to do to get this started is cover this in barbecue sauce. I've got a couple different barbecue sauces here. I'm going to finish up this bottle, and this might be enough for the whole project. I'm not sure, and if not, we'll mix in some other stuff as well. Why is it Hawaiian? Well, there you go. We're going to load it up with these pineapple chunks, juice and all. This is going to be really, really good. The idea here is pressure cooking it, making it fall apart off the bone, shred it, sear saute off the extra juice, and turn it into some barbecue sandwiches. Let's get started. Step 1, transfer this to a platter. This is completely thawed, by the way. Was close to thawed as I could get it. Been in the fridge for 3 or 4 days. Step 1, let's cover this with barbecue sauce. Easiest method. Use your hand. Spread it out. Make sure you get the edges. And I'm definitely going to need a little more barbecue sauce, but I have some standing by. So that's enough to get it covered, and it is completely covered. All sides. Stand by. Got to get cleaned up. Now that we've got it completely covered with the barbecue sauce, go ahead and add it into your Foodi pot, right into the bottom. Step 2, add your pineapple to the pot. Now be careful here. Pour it off to the sides. You don't want to run that barbecue sauce off of there if you can help it. Try to keep as much sauce on there as possible. So what I'm just gonna kind of center it up. As you can see what I'm gonna do, and of course some of the pineapple here and some here. I've got 20 ounces, a rather large can. Of course, if your roast is smaller, you might want to get a smaller can of pineapple. Juice, make sure you put the juice in, guys. It's very important. Juice and chunks is what we're after. Nice. Exactly what we want. And now we're going to add in 1/4 cup of water. 1/4 cup of water, possibly a half if you didn't use as much pineapple juice as I did. All right, let's get the pot into the Foodi and start the pressure. Power on. Pull your slider all the way to the left. Defaults to high. We want 40 minutes. And start. Make sure your top valve is set to seal. This is vent, this is seal. And that's it. See you guys back here. This could take up to 10 to 15 minutes to preheat this time, with a fair amount of volume in there. So make sure you start this very early on, well ahead of the time that you think you want to eat it. See you back in a while, guys. Hey everybody, we've hit the 40-minute mark, and it's time to release that pressure. I recommend not doing it with your hand. Although on the new Ninja Foodi Smart Lid, it is a little easier to do without getting burnt. They made a much bigger nozzle thing here, but I still grab whatever's handy. I got a pair of pliers. Quick release, do it. All right, I can't wait to see inside, to see what we got, guys. Nice and slow, we open this top. And let's hope we got it pressure cooked long enough, because we want to shred it and just pull that bone out. And I've got some silicone tongs and a wooden fork here so we don't mess anything up. Let's see if it is as tender as I hope. Well, I'll be honest with you, it is not as tender as I hoped. You can see the meat falling away from the bone right there, but it is not separated from the bone. I just kind of want that bone to slide right out. Yeah, this was a rather large piece of meat. Now we still have plenty of liquid in here to work with, so we're going to put it back under pressure. And this is the beauty of the Foodi. It's very simple to check things out and just get it right back where you need it to be. So we're going to throw it right back on pressure high, and I'm going to give it another 30 minutes. Time is kind of irrelevant for me. I'm looking for the perfect end result. And this is going to be shredded pork, so we're going to pressure it until it shreds. There's about 40 more minutes. Let's see how we're doing. This was a big old piece of meat, y'all. Well, there you go. I can push my wooden spoon through part of it. Yeah, she's breaking up. Not quite the way I want. I think, there we go. I think it's just the cut of meat, but I can work with this. No problem. I can turn this into good barbecue. So here's what I'm going to do. Slight deviation. I'm going to remove the meat. I'm going to take it to a cutting board. I'm going to slice the fat off, get rid of it, and then finely chop it, shred it, whatever I can do to it. Then we're going to put it back in the pot. We're going to add the rest of our ingredients and finish it up. Simple. Look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. Look at all the chunks that fell off of it as well. Because I want to chop this up. You know, we'll be putting this on some potato rolls and putting our slaw mixture over it. So, you know, we're gonna really fix this thing up nice here. And what we're gonna do with what's in the pot, well, we're gonna leave that because we need this. This is gonna we're gonna sear saute this down till there's nothing left except these pineapple chunks, and I might even take those out and crush those up as well. So for now, close the lid, let's keep it warm, and let's head to the cutting board. I'll see you there. I already got my little workstation going here. The meat still steaming hot. I may have to let it cool a little bit to work with it. My big old knife, cutting board, and I got a bowl here. Take the chopped up shredded pieces and chuck them over in the bowl. Let's see if we can get started with anything. One of the things we're going to do here is make sure we work off any of the fat. You know, a little fat that falls in there is no problem, but we don't want a lot of fat in our pork. And so yeah, this chops up. I'm just using one hand. It's breaking down very, very easy. So in the bowl we go. And that's how we're going to do it. And you might say, well, why didn't you trim all this fat off? Well, there really wasn't that much fat, and I wanted it in there for the flavor. The bone and the fat together is just going to add some unbelievable flavor to this. So you see what I'm doing here. I'm just picking up some pieces. If I see any fat, I'll pull it off, like right here. I'll show you that. I got a little, it's from the edge, so we'll just take that off. Like so. Get rid of him. Try to get rid of him. And again, see how tender this is. I'm just using one hand, pushing right through it. Awesome. All right, here's where we're at so far. I got about 3/4 of it done. Shredded, finely chopped. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this back in the pot now because my bowl is about to overflow, and then we'll finish the rest of it up. Now guys, this is one of those recipes that, yes, it takes a long time, but honestly, most of the best food I've ever cooked takes a long time. It's just the way it is. And you know what? I'm not too concerned about time. I'm more concerned about end result. So this is all of that pork that has been stripped from the bone and shredded and chopped. We've still got all that pineapple juice and the juices from the pork itself in here. And we have still got some very interesting steps coming up. Don't go anywhere because we haven't even got to the good part yet. This is just almost considered the prep part. Let's go. We're gonna leave the lid up on this one. Okay. Temporarily, I'm gonna lower the lid just so I can slide the slider to the right. I'm gonna raise the lid back up again. All right, we're gonna turn our knob. It actually defaults to sear saute. That is high 5, so it's like a high 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna lower that down to a high 2 and fire it up. Time's irrelevant on this one. Our goal is to bring this up to a simmer and evaporate those juices before we go on to the next step. So we may be adjusting this temperature. We may go to a 3, we might go to 4, we might go all the way to a 5. We'll find out. The first thing we're gonna do is just give this about 5 minutes on 2, high 2, to see if we can create a simmer. If not, we'll move it up to 3. Why do I not want to go 5 and then work my way down? I don't want to burn this stuff. And the Ninja Foodi sear saute on its highest levels is incredibly hot. I want to work everything slowly here. We have a lot more steps to do. No hurry. Let's just work it out. Now, with the new one lid, I can actually continue this with the lid down. Yeah, isn't that cool? I can continue the sear saute with the lid down. Now, you cannot do that on my old Foodi. This will actually bring the temperature up faster because, well, just like putting a lid on a pot on the stove. So we'll get it to a simmer or a boil, and we'll work it from there. All right, it's been about 5 minutes. I've got a little bubbling going on there, but I'm going to go ahead and crank this to 3. All right, so I just changed it from 2 to 3 because I want a little more than that. I'll never evaporate the liquid like that. And I might end up at 4. I don't know. Quite a bit of liquid in there. And we're going to get rid of almost all of it. And then we got some pretty cool things we're going to do next. Obviously, we're going to put some barbecue sauce in it. I'm going to put something else in there you probably haven't thought of. Stay tuned. All right, I've brought it up to 4. Considerable difference. And we're just going to simmer this down until just about everything is gone. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to take you back to the other room while this is simmering, and we're going to get our other ingredient prepped. For our topping, I've got some tricolor coleslaw. That's green cabbage, carrots, and red cabbage. You can make this up any way you want from scratch, or just buy a bag, or even buy a coleslaw already prepared. That's not how I want mine. So mine is just going to be pretty much as is with a tiniest little bit of apple cider vinegar mixed in with it. Now, I'm not cooking for a whole lot of people for this particular meal. We'll be freezing a lot of that pork. So I only need to mix up just a little bit for our sandwiches and a little leftover for a side dish for something tomorrow. So just like that'll do. Yep. And I'm gonna put 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in there, mix it up, put it back in the fridge, and let it sit until I'm ready to use it. And again, do it any way you guys want to do it. This is just a simple way. This apple cider vinegar goes extremely well with pork. I just took a big smell. I love apple cider vinegar, and it's really good to cook with. I know that doesn't look like much. Apple cider vinegar is strong. And obviously, if you really, really, really like it, dump it in there. But this is how we're going to do it for our meal. We just want a hint. You can put some buttermilk type dressing on here, but for a topping for a barbecue, I tend to like mine a little more drier, so I get that good crunch. I can really smell it. All right, that's good, guys. This is just going to go right back in the fridge, just right here in the bowl. And there's our topping. Now let's get back to our pork and see how our simmering is coming out. All right, doing a lot of editing, for time. But I've been working on this for a while now. And I am very excited. You guys have the smells, the aromas in the kitchen. Everything is just starting to come together now. And this step right here of reducing the liquid is going to add so much flavor to this. This pineapple juice, and pork drippings, if you want to call it. You're just going to get caramelized onto this pork. There's no time set for this, guys. This is we're maybe on about 5.5 minutes so far. So I can see this going at least another 5 minutes, maybe more. It doesn't matter. The goal, and this is what I like to do right here. I pull it away and see how much comes in. It's a fair amount. So let her simmer. Again, if you're making this recipe, plan well in advance. This is not something you can make for dinner an hour before dinner. I've got several hours invested in this already. This is going to make a lot of food. We're going to baggie it up, freeze it. We'll have some for dinner, of course, and then we'll freeze the rest in equal portions, and then we'll just take it out the freezer, thaw it out, and boom, quick and fast dinner, just like that. Oh, we're looking good now, guys. Look at this. Let me get down to the bottom of the pot. Look at that. See that? Almost nothing down there. Say a couple more minutes and we got her. And then we'll move on to the next step. See how that's running? How that juice is just running down the side real slow? Because it's really thick now. Oh my God. This is going to be so good. All right. Most of the liquid is gone. We're going to go ahead and move to the next step. And to start with, I'm going to lower it from 4 to 3. Let's start by doing that. Okay, we have a high 3 now. I'm going to dump the rest of our barbecue sauce in. I'm using this one. It has a small kick to it, but not bad. And if we need more, I got more sauce. We're going to need more. Fortunately, I was prepared for this. This also depends on what type of barbecue you guys are looking for. That might be enough for some people. Me, I want a little more than that. And I'm going to go ahead and add my secret ingredient now before I put in some more barbecue. And my secret ingredient, you're not going to get it, but here it is. That's right. Mayonnaise, man. Mayonnaise. I love cooking with mayo. We don't need a lot. 2 big scoops. That's about all I need for that. We'll incorporate that mayonnaise in and go grab the rest of our barbecue sauce and just slowly add it until we get it where we want it. Look at that. You can see what that's doing for me right there. It's thickening it up, it's making it creamy, and adding all that good mayonnaise flavor. All right, we're gonna stick with our Texas theme, guys. The pork was HEB Texas, and we're gonna go with some sticky sweet stubs. And I do like stubs. Stubs, it makes some outstanding barbecue sauce. You see right there on the bottom, get a little burn spot. I'm gonna drop her down to 2. and start adding in my sauce. That's 2. All right, just a little at a time. We don't want to overdo it, but we don't want to underdo it, if that's a word. It is. It's a word for me. Scott's word of the day. Underdo it. Oh my God, the smell that just hit me from the sauce. Oh, thank you, Mr. Stubbs. You make some great stuff. See how the pork is shredding? The more we cook it, the more we stir it. Yeah. Go to a restaurant. I dare you to find something as good as this. Oh my goodness, guys. I think we just about got it. I'm gonna use about a half a bottle. A little more. I'm gonna call it right there. We're just gonna let that simmer a few more minutes. And we got ourselves some barbecue. I'm just looking at the bottom of the pot. Got a little bit of moisture running. It's almost impossible to get rid of all of it. It'll go away when it cools down. There we have it, guys. Pulled pork barbecue, tricolor coleslaw topping. Let's take a bite of that thing. That was really good. I'm not just saying that for the camera either. Unbelievable. That took a long time to cook. And like I said earlier, some of the best meals I've ever made take a long time to cook. All those flavors just... Anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on the next video. Make sure you hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Leave me some comments and all that good YouTube stuff. We'll see you soon.